Welcome to the News Hour. Communications with Gaza are mostly cut off tonight because of a lack of fuel to power the system there. Israel is pressing its invasion in the north, and today the Israel Defense Forces discovered the body of one of the 240 hostages held by Hamas. Her remains were found near Al-Shifa Hospital, the main medical center in northern Gaza. Parts of it are now controlled by the IDF. Leila Molana Allen reports.
In southern Gaza, thousands of Palestinians crowd tent cities after fleeing their homes in the north. Now, they fear they'll have to leave again.
Today
in their leaflets, they're telling us to evacuate the south.
Early today, the IDF dropped leaflets over the southern city of Khan Yunis, warning residents to get out. But many, like the Abu Jabal family, don't know where to go.
They asked us, the citizens of Gaza, to go to the south. We went to the south. Now they're asking us to leave. Where do we go? We want to understand where exactly we should go.
In northern Gaza, IDF forces stormed Al-Shifa Hospital for the second day, searching for signs of Hamas.
We found a vehicle filled with ammunition.
Today, the IDF released another video of weapons they say were found in a car in the hospital compound. And this video of what they claim is the entrance to a tunnel in the hospital complex, but have not shown evidence of their claim that Hamas runs a command center underneath Al-Shifa. Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry denies the claims and alleges IDF forces have shelled hospital rooms. Doctors inside the hospital say life-saving medical devices have been destroyed.
So MSF is deeply shocked by what's happened at Shifa. It's the raid with no guarantee of protection of civilians and medical staff and patients inside that hospital complex.
Dr. Natalie Thurtle is the Deputy Medical Coordinator for international NGO Doctors Without Borders in Jerusalem. MSF also denies Israel's claims of a Hamas command center.
We've worked in Shifa for many years. We've never seen anything and that has indicated that that is the case. And regardless of the perception that that may be the case, it doesn't absolve anybody of the responsibility to protect civilians and patients and medical staff.
With the power cut off, dozens of premature babies don't have working incubators. 6 have reportedly died. Hundreds of patients and thousands of displaced civilians remain trapped inside the hospital grounds, under siege for a week now. MSF also has over 100 staff and their family members taking shelter in the vicinity.
They've run out of food and water, and we've got children who are really quite sick. And every time that we've tried to evacuate them, despite assurances that there is a safe path to the south, they've been faced with drones firing outside the door, crossfire and shelling ongoing, so they haven't been able to move.
There's no end in sight to Israel's invasion, which it says will eventually expand south. With no fuel, Gaza's phone and internet lines are dark again today. Voiceless, Gazans bury their endless stream of dead and pray, with little hope left, for those still living. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Leila Molana Allen.
And Leila joins me now here in studio. Leila, it's so good to see you in person.
Good to see you, Amna.
So you have been covering this war every day since it began, nearly 6 weeks in now. Just pull back the curtain a little bit. Tell us about what that's been like, the experience of reporting on this as a journalist.
I mean, the first thing to say is war is horrific anywhere, and I've covered many conflicts over the last 15 years, but this one is in such a small space. So to begin with, the number of people killed on October the 7th in the Hamas attacks, everybody in this country of just 10 million people knows someone. And then, of course, such an incredibly small landmass inside Gaza as well. In a place the size of Rhode Island, you've got nearly 2.5 million civilians living there. Now, there's also the incredibly particular difficulty of access with this war. So we were based in Israel, we were going across Israel, across the Palestinian territories, but not inside Gaza. Normally, it is closed whenever there's a war every couple of years, as there always is in Gaza, and then journalists can go in. But it's now been 6 weeks, and there's no sign we'll be able to properly go in anytime soon. When we have been able to enter, it's with the Israel Defense Forces, and of course, they control what we are able to see. We cannot speak to Gazans in that situation, no matter how close we are to them. We can only see what we're able to see with the army. And of course, our colleagues who are covering Gaza are Palestinian journalists themselves. 37 have died already in 6 weeks, most deadly period for journalists since the Committee to Protect Journalists began. They're giving their lives to show us what's happening.
You've heard now, after more than 5.5 weeks of this war, President Biden is now saying the only way out of this will be a two-state solution. What do you see? Do you see any room for that happening?
This has been the idea now for years, but there's been no movement on the peace process at all since the end of the Second Intifada, around 2005, 2007. That was the last time we were really seeing conversations. The first question is, where would it be? The landmass that's available to Palestinians now is the West Bank, and that we have this huge issue with settlers who are increasingly becoming violent and against Palestinian villages there. I was there seeing hundreds of people being forcibly displaced from their land by violence, sometimes by actually being killed. 700,000 settlers there who are building on land where they're not supposed to build, supported increasingly by the government and the Israeli army, which many international NGOs say is a war crime if the government's actually sponsoring it. Then, of course, you've got Gaza, which would theoretically be at least the economic capital of a state because everyone there is the most highly educated. It is the wealthiest part in terms of its access to a port if it wasn't under siege. Gaza's gone. Half of the housing units there are gone. It's been completely leveled. So where actually would this even take place?
You know, from the beginning of this war, there has been this concern it could broaden, it could spread in the region. You've reported from across the region for years. Is that concern still there?
That concern is still there, but much less than it was at the beginning. It's become clear that, firstly, Iran has stepped forward and said, listen, to Hamas officials, we did not know this attack was going to happen. You didn't let us know. We didn't do it in coordination. So while they have been sponsoring Hamas, it's not the same as a fully staged attack. The same with Hezbollah in Lebanon. It's become clear that while they are launching strikes, they are not escalating that to a full-scale war. And they have their own interests to defend, which is they are in a powerful political position in Lebanon, and they don't want to be seen as complicit in getting a lot of Lebanese people killed. So at the moment, those parties don't seem to be getting involved. What's more of a question here is what happens to Palestinians? We are seeing scenes that remind everybody of the Nakba, the catastrophe, what Palestinians and the Arab world call 1948, when Palestinians were forcibly moved from their land and never allowed to come back. These queues of people we're seeing moving into South Gaza. The IDF is saying they are going to spread that invasion into South Gaza. So then where do people go? Either they're trapped in a kill box or there is a humanitarian corridor into Egypt. Will they ever be allowed to come back? 1.5 million Palestinian refugees already living across the region. How many more? Will this be another case of them losing their land for good?
We know you're going to be back out there reporting for us very soon. But in the meantime, Leila Moulana Allen, it is great to have you here in studio with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Amna.